Okay, so to briefly recap, last episode of Dauntless, you guys received orders to go out to the John Carr system, or Jod Core system rather, to the planet Kufano, in order to investigate what was said to be a Drantzuli presence in the system. Uh, you guys found some leftovers from a battle with the Zenkethi, including one survivor. And didn't find any Drantzuli right away, but obviously that changed in a hurry toward the end of the episode when all the crystals in the cave you guys were in started cracking open uh, and releasing these meter-tall insects about the size of large dogs. Uh, the Dauntless crew got you guys off of the ship in pretty much record time. Uh, you also encountered a Zenkethi battleship whose captain was not hostile, and who actually gave you some information that they had about the Dranzuli. So that was kind of where we. No, there was a little bit more. You guys took out that Dranzuli infestation with a quantum torpedo, but doing a subsequent scan on the planet, found that was Dranzuli presence across the planet's surface, like almost like a spiderweb pattern. So that was kind of where we left off. The Zenkethi ship had
We
left.
also
Go ahead.
we had also cross-referenced the information we had on the Dranzuli and found the name Herc.
Yes. Which caused Sisram, who was at the tactical console, to kind of go a paler shade of green.
It's fine. It's all fine, guys. Problem solved.
No problems at all.
So we pick up right about where we left off, with Dauntless being en route back to Deep Space Nine. Now, 19, you had wanted to, or yeah, Bookworm, you had wanted to do a scene as 19 in the mess hall. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so that's where we'll start.
All right. So I would say it's probably really late shift. There's very few people, hopefully, fingers crossed, in the mess hall. And 19 has collected a series of dishes and has laid them out on a table in front of himself and is slowly studying each one, but hasn't really done much so far. Is just basically making notes on food.
Okay.
And it's at this point that Bianca meanders in and she taps on the replicator. Coffee, 3 sugars, 3 creamers.
And the coffee materializes.
And Bianca picks up the coffee and turns around and seems to just notice 19.
Captain.
19. What are you doing up so late?
I do not need to regenerate for another 27 hours.
Bianca just kind of nods and just takes a sip from her coffee. She gestures to the seat in front of 19. May I join you?
Of course.
Bianca takes a seat.
I was familiarizing myself with Romulan dishes.
Bianca nods and takes another sip of her coffee. Find anything interesting?
They are rather diverse, contain large quantities of meat, and often have large amounts of citric acid.
I did not know this about Romulan cuisine.
Apparently this one, and they push a tray forward, used to be something I preferred when I was younger.
Bianca kind of like examines it.
It looks basically like a curry.
Mm-hmm. And Bianca kind of looks at you, and she kind of goes, "Yeah."
Please.
And she kind of takes a spoon and samples it. And she nods and she goes, "I can see why you might have preferred it."
I have not yet eaten it.
Well, no time like the present, I guess.
It's a strange concept.
What's strange?
Attachment to things for no apparent reason. Foods, music, clothes. It's pointless.
It's a rather emotional response. It means something to the individual. Maybe in the grand scheme of things, it's pointless, but if it means something to someone, well, it just does.
Before I was taken aboard your vessel and relieved of my implants, it had been 24 years, 24 years, 6 months, 12 days, 18 minutes, and 32 seconds since I had consumed anything.
Is that how long you had been assimilated?
Mm. Have you ever been on board a Borg vessel, Captain?
Sorry, you cut out. Have I ever been what?
Aboard a Borg vessel.
I've only come across the board once and did not have the pleasure of being on board.
I'm certain there's no doubt intelligence of what the schematics are of a cube or a sphere.
Yeah, there have been several boarding parties over the past 50 years or so.
What do you know about the inside of a vessel?
Well, from what we studied at the academy, there's no centralized construction to a Borg cube. It's all just kind of hallways and chambers and various points where there's, engine or weapons controls. Nothing's really centralized. It's kind of all spread out.
Functional.
Yeah, functional.
Do you ever wonder things about drones? Or do you not think of them when you are not confronted by them?
truth be told, it's uncomfortable to think about drones. So, people, myself included, don't.
Why is it uncomfortable for you?
Just the thought of being assimilated is unsettling.
It is not an easy experience, but life as a drone, if it can be called such, is simple. You do the task you are given, you perform it to the best of your functionality, you move on to the next task. Borg do not sleep, they do not eat, they do not sit, they do not enjoy anything. If you are damaged, you are fixed. That is simply how it is. You are not a person. You are a drone. You are a tool of the collective. And I think many do not realize quite the reality of life, if it can be called such, inside of the collective.
Yeah, I think it's a topic a lot of people prefer not to think about. And thus, we don't realize what it would be like.
I find it interesting how I am being expected to adapt back into my pre-assimilation life, and yet no one has thought to think about what it would be like to live as a drone for 24 to 48 hours. I think it would give an extreme amount of insight if one were to try something like not actual assimilation, of course, but a simulation.
Perhaps I would be interested in undergoing something like that just to see what it was like for you, to get some context. Because I admit my own biases are towards what I know to be everyday life. Anything other than that in my life, observing my crew, you being one of my crew. If I never saw you sit, to me that would be strange. But to you, it would not be strange. Does that make any sense?
It does. I would not tamper the experience. It would be as realistic as possible, and that would likely be very uncomfortable.
Probably painful, I would assume.
You just get this kind of wry smile. When a person is assimilated, Captain, they do not fall unconscious. They are aware of everything happening to them. They are awake the entire time. Until suddenly, there is nothing but the collective.
So I've been told.
Painful does not describe the experience.
Bianca just nods and takes a sip of her coffee. I imagine you're really right.
Yeoman Stevens to Captain West.
Stevens, what do you need?
Captain, may I speak to you in your ready room, please, when you have a moment?
Of course. And Bianca kind of holds up her cup to 19 and she goes, I am serious about that. I want to understand better than I do.
Very well.
And what am I feeling off of 19 right now?
Confusion, shock, a little bit of like sadness and a little bit of pride.
Bianca just kind of quirks a smile. I hope you enjoy one of your meals.
Thank you, Captain. And thank you for the quarters. They are more than sufficient.
Good. I'm glad.
Okay.
And I'm going to take my coffee to my ready room.
Okay, so we will cut to the bridge. All right. You find the man who has called himself Yeoman Stevens waiting for you just outside your ready room. He nods and says, Captain, and waits for you to enter and then follows inside.
Yeah, Bianca just gestures with her hand inside.
Okay. As you guys, as the two of you go inside, he says, Captain, I've uncovered information on one of the Envoy's plots, and I think I've got enough information for us to take action. But I'm going to need your help.
Okay. Bianca just sits back in her chair and steeples her fingers.
Do you know the temporal investigator? Do you know the DTI agent known as Claude Lavoie?
Yes, we're acquainted.
Well, she has been the target of an operation by the Temporal Liberation Front, which is the Envoy's organization to wipe her out of existence, out of every timeline. We still don't know why, but we do have the temporal coordinates for a freighter, and I've picked up a temporal signature corresponding to a Nukul vessel in 2387. I need your help to go back in time and make sure that they fail.
Okay. What's the strategic significance of this Nukul vessel?
Nukul vessels are built. Well, I think it's. Nukul's vessels are built for time travel, and they are very dangerous, but I brought someone with me who I think can elaborate a little bit more, in a little bit more detail. And Adcon, if you want to describe what happens next.
As a figure walks out of your washroom. Daniels, I swear to God, if we end up with another freaking timeline where wizards are running around waving energy swords. Oh, hey, sorry for uniforms. And you see a person walking up to you, to your desk. Is this your ship?
This is my ship?
You see this gentleman here wearing Starfleet shoulder pads, but of an earlier era, almost 30 to 40 years in the past. Hi, I'm Captain Tater Chesko of the USS Valkyrie, and it sounds like you need some help.
Bianca just kind of like tilts her head and looks at Daniels, looks back at Captain Tijichesko. The Valkyrie?
And here's where we're going to flash back. To the USS Valkyrie, sometime during the Dominion War, with Ted in his ready room, and a chime coming in on the door. At the ready room door.
Enter.
One of the crewmen that had transferred off to the Valkyrie from Earth Space Dock a couple of years ago enters. He says, Captain, do you have a moment?
Yeah, anything to distract me from these war reports.
He says, unfortunately, I wish I could give you better news, but it's a war of a somewhat different kind. One that, if you'll permit me, I can reacquaint you with.
He looks up from his pad.
Daniels is holding some sort of optical device in his hand. It's about the size of the palm of his hand. It starts flashing a series of colors in what looks to be a random sequence, going from the near infrared to the near ultraviolet. And as he's doing this, Captain Tadachesco starts remembering things. He starts remembering, okay, this crew member who gave his name earlier is not who he said he was. His actual name is Daniels. He's a temporal agent from the 29th century. Or is it the 31st? I can't remember, but it's somewhere in the far future. And this is not the first time you've seen him.
There's a little bit of blinking, a deep breath. Daniels.
Yeah.
Really? Now?
I wish I could say there was a better time.
I'm in the middle of a war, Daniels.
I know.
All right. Give me a second. He gets up from his pad. Gets from the chair. All right. What are we after this time?
The Nakul are going after a Department of Temporal Investigations agent named Claude Lavoie. They brought a ship with them. Unfortunately, the Valkyrie, with 24th century technology, isn't a match for them. Now, I have a ship in mind, but they're going to need both of our expertise in order to pull this off.
Oh, boy, it's going to be one of those kind of days, huh?
It is. We're going to have to do a little bit of jumping back and forth.
Great. That's always fun. You got my tricorder?
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, give me a second. Right as we left off, right?
Right as we left off.
Yeah, all right. Let's go fix what the hell's going on now.
Okay. We flash back forward to the ready room of the Dauntless.
And for AdCom's reference, Bianca is a Betazoid with dark brown eyes, and she's blonde with one side of her head shaved. The other side's a short bob. And her ready room has a coat rack with a Starfleet Academy Letterman jacket on the coat rack behind her desk, and then there's a model of a sailboat and a model of a Sauron class starship on her bookshelf, and an old ancient brass sextant as well.
Oh, right. What star date we pop in again, Daniels? It's been a while.
Just a second, because I can look that up. Stardate 87971.
Oh,
We're
haven't been in this.
December 2410.
I haven't been in this era in a while. It's second Klingon War, right?
Just ended about a year ago.
Oh, good. All right. Oh, right. So, yeah, Daniels doesn't bring me in unless something rough's going on. So he said something about Nakul.
Yeah, apparently.
All right. You ever traveled time before, Captain West?
Well, aside from one time with. Never mind, it would just sound weird to you. Or maybe not.
You're talking to the guy who's from like 30 years in the past. Hit me.
Oh, there was an alien. His name was the Doctor. There was that time, but other than
Head
that,
pinches the bridge of his nose.
Daniel's response.
Oh, yeah, no, we know him. Yeah, no, I bet that was right. All right, so this is your ship, Captain, your show.
well, you technically outrank me.
No, Temple Prime Directive. You are up time, so technically you have the priority.
Okay, then. I just turn to Daniels and I go, where shall we go?
I've got temporal coordinates for the year 2387. Their freighter was currently at warp near the Delta Valanus cluster, but it's going to be intercepted. I'll give you the coordinates as best I can, and with your permission, I can make some modifications to the Dauntless' slipstream drive. That'll, all things being equal, put us where and when we need to be.
Alrighty then.
Slipstream, that's a new one.
It's something that Voyager was testing just about the time that... Well, the less I say on that, the better.
Oh, come on, you know it doesn't matter.
It's something Voyager was testing on their way home.
Oh, did they ever make it back?
They did.
Awesome, great. Oh, but most of the people on. Anyway.
I owe some of my career to their crew. I sure hope they make it home.
Yeah, me too. We'll see where that goes. Time's always kind of in flux.
Okay. Bianca, he hands you a data pad that has on it basically a bunch of mathematical formula. It says, give this to your chief engineer, have him plug these equations into the slipstream drive, and that should take us back.
Oh, he's gonna have a field day with this.
I probably needn't mention, Captain, that this is all enforced by the Temporal Prime Directive, so I have to ask you not to share this with anyone who doesn't absolutely need it.
Will do, and I'll tell my engineer the same.
I appreciate it, Captain.
Oh, am I out of uniform?
Slightly. Captain, do we have a... Well, actually, your uniform will be fine. It's the captain and anyone who's on the away team who's going to need a different uniform. On second thought, it might not matter. I guess we can cross that bridge when we come to it.
Definitely gonna be one of those missions.
Well, if he's going to be roaming around my ship, he should probably have the correct uniform. Without the white shoulders. Probably. Don't want people asking questions about rank.
Yeah, whatever I need to wear.
And Bianca is going to requisition the quartermaster for a uniform just as a lieutenant, say.
Oh, and Ted actually reaches into a check and pulls out an index card. My measurements. Never know when you might need to dress up on one of these things.
More
Fair
often
enough.
than you might think, Daniel says.
Yeah, tell me about it. Have a bit of time with
I
Archer?
will send these specifications to the quartermaster.
That'd be fantastic. Thank you.
Okay. It takes you guys a couple of minutes to get down to the quartermaster's office, and the uniform is ready by the time you arrive. It's a lieutenant's, we'll say a lieutenant commander science outfit. So it's got the gray shoulders, the blue bar representing the science division, the sciences combat badge on the chest.
Oh, why did they start putting these on? Little symbol on these things. Science division.
Welcome to the 25th century.
Yeah, here's hoping to get here to slow path. Just a little bit cheating. Oh.
Gonna go back up to the bridge.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna follow unless I'm given something else to do.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna have him manning the sciences console.
Okay, that bookwormy?
I'm fine. just I'm fine.
I'm reading the chat, and they are not fine.
Oof. All right.
All right.
Are we gonna have the Teds cross paths tonight?
I wasn't planning on it.
Please don't do that. No, that would be too much.
All right, so you got the data pad.
All right, and I'm going to drop it off in engineering on my way up to the bridge.
Okay.
And as I hand it over to Dash, I go, "Mum's the word."
Dash starts reading this data pad, and his eyes just widen. He says, "Captain, this
I know.
This is the biggest thing since transparent aluminum or transwarp beaming."
We don't get to spread it around, unfortunately.
Oh. Well, if we ever do get to spread it around, I want my name on the paper.
Well, we'll see if that is time's wish.
He just kind of grumbles, which is very characteristic for a Tellarite, not necessarily characteristic for this particular Tellarite. He says, "All right, Captain, give me 5 minutes. This shouldn't take long. It's like the theory of relativity. It's just so simple and yet so elegant. I wouldn't have. I'll let you know when I'm ready."
Thank you. And Bianca just kind of like tilts her head at Ted, like, "Come on, let's go."
Yeah, no, he's been silent this entire encounter. He's just kind of following.
Okay. After you guys get back on the turbolift, Dash looks over toward Tassel and motions them over.
She makes her way over.
So, take a look at this, but don't tell anybody. Mum is the word. Like, and it kind of just shows her the data pad and says, "I'm going to need some help. I want some help putting this together in the slipstream drive. You up?"
Yes. This seems like an interesting puzzle.
I mean, I want to know who thought of this. Like, this theory is at least 100 years ahead of its time.
I believe you said Mum was the word. Questions need not be asked. We simply need to do What was
What was a rhetorical question anyway? Come on.
worst duo? Worst. Tell her right in the Vulcan.
Totally. All right, so let's have the first roll of the evening be a reason engineering roll. I'm going to have Tassel take the lead on this. Dash is going to assist.
All right, let me get Cell sheet up.
Okay.
You said reason engineering?
I did.
I don't think I have a focus.
I'm going to say no on this one. I did not give you your difficulty, but the difficulty is going to be 2.
All right.
Dash's slipstream drive mechanics focus does apply, however. A natural 1 from the chief engineer.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna burn my determination to re-roll that if that's.
You could also burn a momentum. You guys have some carried over from the previous episode.
Oh, okay. If we have momentum, then I will do that.
Okay. Do you have? Well, you didn't take a momentum, but yeah,
No.
We'll spend 2 momentum, and if you want to re-roll that, go ahead.
Fucking really?
Well, except you only get to re-roll 1 die with a momentum spent, so I'm only going to count that first one.
Okay, that's fair. The dice rolls are not with me tonight.
Gonna be one of those nights, apparently.
Giselle is still a bit shaken, apparently. What the fuck?
Yeah, that is entirely possible, and she's having a hard time kind of focusing, but does manage to, with a little bit of a nudge kind of from Dash, manages to punch in the equations, and Dash like kind of looks over to her and says, "Hey, you okay?"
Yes, I will be fine.
Was that like a Vulcan yes, or are you actually okay?
He just gets like a slight head turn. That was a Vulcan, yes.
Okay, I get you. Vulcans. Engineering to bridge.
Bridge here.
Captain, slipstream formula is complete. We're ready to engage when you are.
All right. Lieutenant Carden. I'm just going to forward the coordinates that I want him to set from my chair here.
Jonas will input the coordinates.
Yeah. Jonas, looking at these, you notice there's a temporal coordinate as well, which you haven't seen previously on any sort of course plot.
By the way, is Jonas getting any sort of like, I don't know, hinky space-time stuff going on? Being able to sense like the timed information, being able to sense like time things.
That's a good question, actually. Let me look something up here real quick.
Jonas can no longer pilot.
Too much chronoton.
Give me an insight command roll. Difficulty here is going to be 1.
I'm assuming no focuses apply here.
Correct. got the difficulty though. Yeah, the new science lieutenant, or the new lieutenant commander at the science console, isn't supposed to be here.
Right. Um, Jonas is gonna stare at the new science station officer for like a few seconds longer than it should be necessary, and then input all of the coordinates.
Ted's
Okay.
gonna wink.
Why is Ted always the worst person in any situation?
You answered your own question.
Okay, let me amend that. Now Jonas is going to blush and input all the coordinates. And in the process is going to be mumbling about stupid space time and time travel and why did he get signed up for that?
All right. I would like you to give me a control con roll. The difficulty here is going to be 3. However, I'm going to let Bianca assist on this roll, and I'm also going to let the Dauntless assist.
Okay, astronavigation, helm operations.
Yes, astronavigation focus applies.
Okay.
Also, this is specifically a time jump, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, what if a possibility if I could assist in some fashion?
Yeah, if you want to assist in Bianca's place, that's perfectly okay.
Yeah, it depends on what Bianca feels. Who is muted?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Bianca feels this is appropriate.
Does anybody mind if I take the 1 momentum just in case for my cautious?
Go ahead.
I mean, you got cautious, so might as well.
Yeah, okay, I'll go ahead and take it.
Okay, so for you it's control con. Ted, I'm going to have you assist with control science.
Alrighty.
And let's see, for the Dauntless is going to roll, I'm going to say computer science on this one. Yeah, Shiana's on the bridge, unless she isn't.
And
Right
yeah.
there.
Wait, null attribute.
In which case, Shiana has very seriously raised eyebrows at
Well,
the
it's an 18
the
anyway,
blue
but yeah.
lizard dude who just walked onto the bridge of her ship, who she has no idea who he is.
But he also walked out of the ready room with Bianca, which is especially strange because you never saw him walk in.
The chief of security is having a quiet conniption fit.
if Jonas were Acacian, most of his fur would be standing on end and he would be very restless.
Okay, for some reason it said null attribute, but I rolled an 18 anyway, so
Okay.
yeah, never mind.
Who wants to roll for Dauntless?
I'll roll for Dauntless.
Okay.
Let me pull her up. This engine's con. Cat, do not push over my soda. I will be very upset if you
Why
do.
is it? Oh, never mind.
Okay, yeah, engine's con will work here. Okay, so no momentum gain there. However, Bianca, let me have you do an insight command roll real quick. Difficulty here is going to be 1.
Insight command. Let's do the thing. That is my mirror character. Let's not pull up that sheet. Would my composure focus apply?
Not here.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
You guys get a momentum back out of that. And Bianca, you can kind of feel Shiana kind of staring daggers into Ted.
Do I notice this?
I'll give me an insight command on this as well.
Sure. All right. No
And not
focus is
necessarily
applied.
like hostile, but definitely inquisitive and like a feeling of what the fuck is going on.
Do we have any momentum left over, or are we done?
You do have one momentum.
Anyone mind if I take cautious?
Go for it.
Go.
Okay. That's why.
All right. You guys are up to 2 momentum now. And yeah, you're picking up what Commander Darrow is putting down. And she's like, who the fuck are you and why the fuck are you?
Yeah, security officers. I know how it goes. If there's any way I can figure out how this new computer system works, it's all weird and virtual. I would like to possibly send a private message to the captain.
Yeah, figuring out how the computer systems work is not a problem. The user interface is really kind of intuitive, in fact.
That's so weird. I don't have to fight this thing. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, if he needs to, you can switch it to the desktop monitors underneath.
But yeah, he's going to send a private message to Bianca that possibly might want to set up a meeting with the senior staff to look at what's going on.
Already ahead, and she just like pings back already ahead of you.
Smiley face.
With the course plotted, the Dauntless jumps in this slipstream.
How
And it
long?
is-
Our
How long do we
with,
have?
with emojis is like the most. I don't know. Sorry.
It's going to take a few minutes because there's still a space. There are two vectors that you guys are traveling through. You're traveling through space as well as time. So you're looking at possibly 20 to 30 minutes.
How is Jonas feeling about this? I don't know if like time traveling makes him feel anything.
There's gonna be inoculations coming in. Don't worry.
A little bit. He's got a mild sense of vertigo going on. And the slipstream itself looks a little bit different. A little on the chromatic side, whereas normal slipstream drive is fairly monochromatic. Like the slipstream tunnel is basically shades of one color. You're picking up variations, different hues, and that's it takes you a second to just kind of tear your gaze away from the view screen. Jonas.
Oh yeah, Jonas is taking a screenshot.
Selfie.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and call a quick senior staff meeting in the conference room.
Well, sorry, I just have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Would I have sensed the chronotonic difference like when we entered the slipstream because of stuff that Borg have done in the past with time travel?
I'm going to leave that up to a roll.
Okay, that's fair.
We'll do insight science. The difficulty here is going to be 2.
Cool. Would my anthropology focus apply?
Considering the Borg experience with time travel, I'm going to say yes.
And what was my difficulty?
Difficulties 2.
Alright, I'm gonna take an extra dice, please.
Okay.
If I accidentally roll anything, don't mind me. It's just my cat rolling across my keyboard.
Like cats do. Oh,
Nice.
look at that roll. All right. That puts you guys up to 3 momentum. Think you got the bad rolls out of your system there, Steph.
Hopefully, Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah, I basically just want to know if I pick it up so that I have a chance to be like, we're gonna need some inoculations and grab them before I go to the staff meeting.
Your biometric sensor implant, as the Dauntless kicks into Slipstream, starts registering higher than background levels of chronoton radiation.
Cool. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna, just as Bianca calls the meeting, I'm gonna grab some hypo sprays from
sickbay. Okay. All right, so you guys set up in the Dauntless's briefing room.
I'm actually going to turn over the briefing to Daniels, because he's going to know better what should be revealed versus what shouldn't be revealed
Okay,
to the rest of the crew.
that's fair. As the
And his
senior,
eyebrows like meet her hairline, basically.
yeah, because not only are you seeing this, you're seeing basically a yeoman who's a crewman who doesn't even have a rank insignia is being asked to lead this briefing, and
When does 19 show up?
probably last.
Okay.
Because they had to like calibrate stuff for the hypo.
yeah, and in fact, Steph, can you describe 19 for Ted as they walk in?
Sure. So, a person who is generally outwardly female in appearance, wearing general like slacks and kind of like a mom sweater and a lab coat, with salt and pepper hair that is currently in a bun, and has Romulan features and a metallic arm and a very distinctive eyepiece on their face, and is also carrying a medical.
Okay.
Another quick question: is anything coming off of this yeoman that just got asked to lead the talks?
I'm not going to even make you roll. Yes. Without even having to roll, yes. This yeoman also feels like he is not supposed to be here.
Jonas is starting to get a slight headache.
Okay, so the moment when 19 walks into the briefing room, the weird lizard person sitting there in one of the seats, just kind of like, kind of looking around, just kind of relaxing, chillaxing, maxing, all cool. Notices the Romulan, kind of curious, and then notices the Borg implants on the Romulan, and just kind of, the emotion just kind of drains from his face. And for a split second, he almost reaches for a phaser that doesn't exist, before catching himself and just placing both hands on the table.
Which completely does not escape the notice of Shiana.
Daniels stands up, kind of does the Picard maneuver with the top part of his uniform, straightening it out, and says, "What I'm about to tell you falls under the purview of the Temporal Prime Directive. I have to ask you not to share it with anybody outside this room." The Federation in the 25th century and ranging up through the 29th is involved in a temporal Cold War against a group calling itself the Temporal Liberation Front. The leader of this front is known only as the Envoy. And from what we've been able to determine, his purpose is to undo the temporal accords that were signed in the late 28th century. In short, he is an individual who looks to alter the timeline for his own benefit. One of his targets is a Department of Temporal Investigations agent known as Claude Lavoie. To that end, he has sent a ship piloted by the Nakul back to 2387 to try and eliminate this temporal investigator before they join DTI. Starfleet does, just as Daniels types something into the desk and a hologram pops up of the Nakul, of a Nakul ship, which is kind of angular, with, I want to say, it almost looks like a dagger. And it's colored blood red.
That's not at all intimidating.
That's probably kind of the point, yeah. He says, Nakul ships are not to be underestimated. We think they've only sent the one back, but if it comes down to a fight, Dauntless is going to have a serious one on its hands. From Starfleet records on the Nakul, what you guys would already know is that their star was burned out, basically, by a device called the Tox Utat. And that happened just a few months ago. At the time, the Tholians were wielding the device, but the Tox Utat seems to have a history of its own.
Loud snort.
Of course, there's Tholians involved.
Yeah, the Tholians were the ones who used it to basically turn off the Nakul star. But the Tox Utat itself is an invention from that was invented in the 26th century, was discovered by Captain Jean-Luc Picard in the 24th. So it has also jumped back and forth in time. So Daniels kind of looks around the room and says, does anyone have any questions?
I just wanted to add to that end, we also have a specialist on board, Lieutenant Commander Ted, who will be helping us in our current mission. And I wanted to make sure that I introduced him so that we had a context for this newest addition to our crew, and he will only be here on temporary assignment.
Shiana looks at Williams. Is Williams right? Ugh.
Daniels.
Daniels, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, it's a name. It's a name.
Stevens. Let's do a different
Daniels. Shiana looks at Daniels. And where or when are you from?
Good luck getting a straight answer out of him.
I have no record of you on the crew logs.
Oh, you messed up there.
He says, if you look up a yeoman Eric Stevens, you'll find a record. I am from, let's just say, a few centuries ahead.
You, trigger happy over here at the table. Who are you? You know,
Lieutenant
who may
Ted.
be. Lieutenant Ted. When
Lieutenant
and where are
Commander
you
Ted.
from?
I'm sorry, what was that? I got two people speaking at once.
Deanna points to Ted, and you, trigger happy over here. When and where are you from?
Oh, I'm a couple decades behind.
Jonas is just gonna rub his head. It hurt.
I would like to say that 19 has not sat down, first of all, and has like set the medical kit on the table and has been listening kind of passively and is looking between Daniels and Ted, but mostly back towards Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
I find it extremely curious just how much Starfleet meddles with time.
Oh crap.
In this case, we're looking to prevent someone else from meddling.
You actually
Deanna outright
hear a
laughs.
laugh.
Yeah,
Deanna
yeah.
outright laughs.
Yeah, that's what we're calling it now.
Yeah, no, 19 actually like lets out a startled laugh and then like pauses and then just like
Bianca just kind of holds up a hand. I don't pretend to understand temporal mechanics or the way the timeline should be, but I'm going to defer to the people who are the experts here.
Captain.
And that
With all
would be,
Mostly me.
and I point at Daniels and then I point at Ted.
perhaps they should have
Captain.
thought
Captain.
to inoculate the crew against chronotonic radiation before jumping to slipstream.
No, it should be fine. The proper Daniels, you got them. You got those right equations, right? They should be protected against chronotonic radiation.
I just point at Jonas.
It's not from chronotons. It's Jonas is just gonna like rub his face again and go quiet. He gives.
Ted's actually going to pull out a tricorder that actually looks about like 30 years out of date, but also looks like a customized model and start tapping around it. No, we should be okay on chronotonic radiation for the time being, as long as we don't stay in here for more than an hour.
Give me a reason science roll.
Yeah, no problem.
Difficulty 1.
Sure. And I'm guessing you have a focus that applies.
I'm guessing you do too.
Alrighty. Bam.
Okay. Not only are the equations themselves engineered in such a way as to prevent chronoton leakage, as it were, but the Dauntless also has a temporal shield.
Yeah, no. I relayed that information. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. I wrote those equations.
Captain,
Well,
this is insanity.
And Bianca just kind of looks daggers at Shiana.
Somebody's never traveled through time.
You remember when we were attacked by the Zenkethi? They managed to pull us out of quantum slipstream. Remember what they said?
Forget?
Remember what they said?
The envoy was helping them.
Envoy.
Wait, the Zenkethi are a problem again? What's next? The Cardassians are gonna pop up again? Again?
No, our bigger problems are
Not
The
to be
envoy.
talked. Yeah, the envoy.
Yeah. Suddenly we have Borgs at the table now. That's new.
Under West. With
There
all
have
due
been certain
respect.
individuals that have been liberated from the collective. Actually, the first was Captain Picard's in your time, so.
Technically, Captain Picard was an individual within the collective. He was on
Yes.
his own.
Yes, but we have furthered that particular technique. Besides, it's off the point.
Oh, that would have been nice to
Oh.
have 8 months ago.
How can we verify these identities and these stories? How do we know that we're not flying off through time into some kind of trap?
When Shanna says that, Jonas would like to look at Ted and try and read him.
Oh boy.
Okay, so in case there's any confusion, this is not necessarily like a direct read of Ted. Am I correct there, or?
Yeah, he wants to listen to what the universe has to say, of like basically for Jonas to figure out whether or not Ted is here either just to fuck with them or this is actual a legit thing.
Okay.
What
That's
Bianca's going to
actually
do?
that would actually be more Bianca's bailiwick. That would be more empathy, I think.
Okay.
Well, and Bianca, I trust that Bianca has done this. Bianca knows, but Bianca
Yeah, they're both
also
genuine.
knows. Yeah, and she just kind of she gives Shanna a look of, you are treading thin ice.
Shanna's responding look is, when have I not been lately? So, okay.
Bianca just goes, you really think I would let people onto my ship if they were going to be a problem?
You know that I have utmost faith in you.
Insight check.
Okay. Insight is
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh, sorry.
D&D reference.
It's a true story though.
I also have a duty to the security and the safety of this crew and this ship, and ask these questions.
And if I felt like they needed to be vetted by my chief of security, I would gladly have done it. But I think if you check the service record of one Captain Tedesco Dauntless of the USS Valkyrie, you will find that he was a former DTI agent, captain of a Federation starship, is actually a current admiral, and is
I might
completely
actually
legitimate.
not be in this universe.
Okay, well,
It's complicated. Sorry.
it's complicated. So this is not the time or place.
Lieutenant Commander. I'm sorry, I never caught your name. Ted's pointing over to the Chief of Security.
Darrow.
Darrow, right? He's kind of doing like a kind of pointing. 2 fingers. How about I make you a deal, Darrow? If it feels like me or Daniels over here is getting in line, you could stun us, put us in a break, and we'll see where things go from there. That sound good?
Sounds great to me.
There we go.
Which we're probably not going to need.
You can start with Daniels.
Fair enough. Okay. We should be coming out of Slipstream in a few minutes.
Well, this has been happening. Can I give Jonas a hypo spray for his headache?
Please.
Yeah. 19 just kind of, while this whole conversation is going on, this whole kind of conflict, 19 just kind of comes up behind you and puts a hypo spray on the table in front of you.
Jonas isn't even really going to care about what it is. He's going to use it.
And the headache, you can feel the tension instantly just start leaving your head.
And he feels so much better. He'll look over at 19 and nod. Thank you.
Well, apparently, and like their eyes flick towards Daniel's, not all people who were thinking of this mission thought of the effects it might have on the crew.
I think for now most of the crew will be safe. I'm just kind of a special exception.
That does not mean that you should be excluded. You should, in fact, have been warned.
I'm going to have Daniels do a roll on this.
What's Daniel's command, like 1?
Using his science discipline, actually.
Okay.
Okay, made its difficulty. Daniel's brows kind of furrow, and he says, "Wait, is he an Elorian?"
Yes.
You didn't know?
My records may be out of date. I apologize.
Oh my god, what kind of fly by the seat of your pants operation are you running up there in the 31st century?
To be fair, I've only been on this ship for maybe... Like, has it been a few weeks now?
Yeah, about a month.
I've only been on the ship for about a month. I'm the newest senior officer on the ship.
The man travels through time for a living. He should be able to just call it up whenever.
It's not an exact science.
We're working on it.
I like you more than I like that one. And 19 like points to Ted, like I like you, and then like dismisses Daniels.
Ted just kind of gives 19 an eye.
At least he's not cute. I can just imagine there's like a collective groan through the entire staff room.
Oh, there's a story behind this one.
Basically, yeah.
All right. If that is all.
Yes, I'd like to get back to my seat, Captain, to get us out of Slipstream.
All right, Mr. Carden. Everyone dismissed?
Jonas will go to his seat.
Captain, if I could have a word.
Of course.
19 is going to give everyone an inoculation anyway because they don't trust like that.
Fair.
So, that's
Thank
all.
you for your prudence, 19.
Ted will refuse.
Like,
very well.
Politely demure or just like standoffish or?
Just a flat no.
They'll leave the hypo spray behind anyway.
All right, so we're finally in private in the conference room. Okay, so I want to talk about that drone later. Not right now. I couldn't help but notice.
They're not a drone. Not now, anyway.
Yeah, I bet. So I just couldn't help noticing. You've been captain of your ship long.
No.
Yeah, No offense, I could kind of tell. I mean, you got your safety security kind of talking back with you, and you kind of had trouble kind
She's
of
been
holding
doing
room.
that a lot lately.
Well, I mean, I can understand the I can understand the hypervigilance. Where I'm coming from, we're fighting a war with the Dominion.
Not to
We're
mention the
fighting a
Valkyrie
war too,
might
but
have. Sorry.
I would have known if you had any sort of untoward intentions, and she knows that.
Yeah. Still, that was just from one captain to another. Like it's just take it, just take it as there is. Don't try and change them into something they're not. Just work with them. Work with their flaws. Work with their strengths.
Noted.
Yeah. But be know when to put the foot down when you had to. They can argue, but it's your ship. It's your call. It's your word.
That I know at least.
Cool. Oh, and yeah, and Daniels kind of pushes the temple prime directive thing a lot. In my experience, times it's got a little bit of a twisty kind of in on itself nature, but most of the time it kind of fixes itself. We just gotta move the process along. He's a little more hyper vigilant about it, a little bit like your security officer, even though it doesn't really seem like it. That's me.
We'll do our best in any case.
Heck yeah. Starfleet. That's what we do.
Right?
Yeah. And
All right.
yeah, look, as much as like I'm gonna say this once. 8 months. I just got done fighting the Borg 8 months ago that's over at Sector 001. Did that happen in this timeline?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Look, whatever she says she is, don't take your eyes off her for a second. Okay? Borg or Borg. And then yeah,
I just wait
Captain?
till Voyager gets home.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, with permission, I need to take my station.
Go ahead, Captain.
And he salutes and he leaves.
Okay. We're gonna.
Bianca just kind of breathes out and seals herself, and she walks back out onto the bridge.
Oh wait, is 10 station next to 19 station on the bridge?
Is it this?
It's the
I think
science
Ted's
station.
right, the science station. Yeah.
So let's take a 5-minute break here, real quick. Just bathroom, water, whatever y'all need.
Scream into the
Yes.
ether.
That.
Screaming eternally.
And I will be right back.
Okie dokie.
one version of Ted is dating Riker, another one is dating a clone of himself.
Jesus. Yes,
He would.
No, that one's
Dude,
only
he
casual
would.
because there's no way Ted would be able to live with Ted.
Jesus Christ.
No. My favorite one. There is a timeline where Ted and
Chase.
Misaka's roles have swapped.
Oh my god.
Wait, what was that? Kind of broke up for me.
I said there's a timeline where Ted and Misaka's like roles in universe have swapped. So
Ooh.
you're the neurotic chief engineer dude, and Misaka's the flirty, sexy time captain.
Yes.
That's a dark
Sexy
timeline.
Time captain.
That's
Okay,
a
Ted.
dark timeline.
This Samzaka has so much charisma.
Just call me Zach.
Oh, that makes me feel so dirty.
Oh my god, I want that in Valkyrie now. Like the alternate reality Samzaka just to show up.
Oh, that's so wrong.
There's always a timeline where you are your own personal ace rimmer. So
I love it. I love it so much.
I'll be right back. 1 second.
I'm gonna grab another Pepsi.
Oh, Riker found a toy.
I'll be right back as well.
Okay.
And I'm glad that he's mostly been, aside from when we first started, he's mostly been hanging out on the bed.
I heard him squeaking a little bit earlier.
Yeah, he was. That's when he was rolling around on my keyboard. He's like, I'm cute.
He is,
Sarah,
though.
Sarah, can I just say that sentence? Riker found a new toy. Just
Right.
Also, I've been sitting on this one for 2 weeks.
yeah. Dawn, just the fact you had to tell me about this bothered me.
Sorry.
No, it was good. I'm just holding in too many secrets.
That's what happens when you're a GM.
And you see how many I keep in.
Mm. Oh my god, going to the chat. Jesus Christ.
The chat, though.
Ah. What did I miss?
Steph!
What did I
Just all of your responses when you.
miss? What? Oh, the muffled screaming from another quadrant.
from the muffled screaming from the Beta Quadrant in another timeline.
In this timeline, I kind of want this to be the timeline that Ted imports, only because the person can show up as the nice, gentle kid.
Oh man.
Freaking SpongeBob gif.
Look, I have a folder full of reaction gifts. I better find places to use.
I'm back.
Hello.
I'm still in love with. For fuck's sakes, my brain is just breaking right now.
You get used to it. It's time. It's time,
Yeah.
baby.
I love Katie's reaction to seeing Ted's picture.
Yeah, that's a statement, all right.
Oh, he's such an asshole. I love it.
Just as soon as you started talking, I immediately got 1,000-yard stare and was like, No.
See, now this is the kind of surprise that I think it is perfectly cool to spring on your on your characters, on your players, really.
I did not plan for Ted to be the crossover character for every campaign. It just kind of happened that way.
He's perfect for it, though.
He is.
He is.
Strangely enough.
Mostly because we dick with Ted enough times that he manages to be very versatile.
Yes. Oh, did we lose a player?
Yeah,
Kate.
Kate had to go.
Oh, is she gonna be back or?
No, maybe.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
But she got some good role playing in before she left, so even if she doesn't get to come back.
Bianca's gonna yell at her again. Just saying.
Poor Shanna. She's just so concerned.
Security officers, man.
Yeah. Is everybody
I mean,
else back?
she can be concerned without being like directly insubordinate. That
Oh yeah, no, you got to put your foot down. I think everybody else is back.
Journey, are you?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, I'll mute myself again.
All right. So with everyone having taken their positions, yeah, it only takes a few more minutes for the Dauntless to arrive. Let me do something real quick.
Riker.
Just
Ooh.
delete that for right now.
Why am I just imagining that, like, currently it's just Ted and 19, like, side by side at two different stations, just, like, uncomfortably staring at each
Probably because Ted recently fought a gigantic Borg cube that almost destroyed his ship, and so he's not entirely comfortable around anything resembling Borg.
Yeah. Ironically, it's been about 8 months since the Dauntless fought against a gigantic Borg ship.
Yeah, they
What kind? Did they have a cube, or did they get the unlucky benefit of a Unimatrix ship?
They had a cube.
Cube.
yeah. In there.
Kind of glad that I wasn't here for that.
The Borg invaded. It was awful.
Yeah, it was in the Carina Nebula because they picked up traces of Omega.
Whoops.
Yeah.
that blessed particle 010.
Man, fuck you, 010. That
You're
still has
lucky. Hey.
still has
you're
nightmares
lucky-
about that stuff. That breathing was
You're
just.
lucky I didn't make up. You're lucky I didn't make up a designation for Delphini.
You can.
I could, but I don't think that.
There probably is in that timeline. There isn't one yet, actually, in Valkyrie, because the Deflanians had never actually encountered the Borg.
That's fair. Yeah, like.
Yeah, there are a lot of Alpha Quadrant races that have never encountered the Borg either. So
Yeah.
19 is just kind of coming up with new designations as they meet them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the fact that they said that, I would have been like oh boy, like what?
Poke the hornet's nest. Do it.
All right, so we just lost someone. Oh, that we just lost Baz, which we were expecting to. Okay. So the Dauntless drops out of Slipstream. There is a freighter not far away, still traveling at warp.
Current start date. You don't have to give me the actual date. I just need to know what timeline we're in, or time frame we're in. Sorry.
2387. Year of the Hobus supernova.
Oh, this is fine.
Great.
Pre or post?
Say again?
Is it pre or post? supernova.
Pre.
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually after, a little bit after Ted's time. Cause yeah, that's after the Dominion War.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about
Okay.
10, 12 years after the end of the Dominion War.
Okay. Probably still have the uniforms, so they kept some of those uniforms around for
Yeah.
ages.
Yeah, I want to say they did because it's just 2 years after Nemesis, and they still had those uniforms on in Nemesis.
Yeah, they had those red
Wait,
uniforms for
what?
like
It's
50
not
50
only
years.
2 years after Nemesis.
Nemesis was 2385.
No, Nemesis 2379.
Was it? Shoot.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. I will take you guys' word on that one.
Because I know that because I had it such that Bianca's father was actually on Romulus when Bianca was born.
Nice.
Because it was just post Shinzan.
Okay.
Bianca was born in 2379.
Huh, I wonder what happened in 2385 that I'm thinking of then.
I'll go look it up for you.
either way
Thank
though, I
you.
mean they kept those red naval uniforms for ages, so there's no reason why they couldn't keep these uniforms.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But new budget and new costuming.
Well, I know that at the time of the Hobo Supernova, they were wearing the Sierra uniform. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought they were wearing the Sierra uniform by the time of the Hope of Supernova.
Okay.
yes,
Then that's
I
because
mean,
they are shown in the Countdown comic.
well, the comic is kind of a iffy continuity.
It is very canon to Stowe, however.
How close are we in the timeline to that actual event?
about a month out.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. This is fine.
Everything is
Just sounds
wonderful.
like everyone dealing with trauma. This is fine.
Jonas is perfectly okay. That's perfectly fine. I'm imagining it's like when what was that planet called in Star Wars that got blown up?
You'll have to be more
Alderaan?
specific. There was a
Yeah,
lot.
when Alderaan gets blown up and Ben Kenobi can hear 1,000 billions of screams silenced at once. I kind of imagine that's what it would feel like for Jonas to be here right now.
No, because it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, if he were still here when it happened, allow me to correct that.
Hard to know.
Well, you're gonna have fun
Luckily,
with those
you don't.
proto matter detonations.
Yeah, luckily you don't have to worry about finding out.
Hopefully.
Yeah, protomatter detonations is what they've been dealing with, in fact.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Yes. So, you do have a freighter on sensors.
Okay. Should we hail them?
It's customary.
I don't know, because we shouldn't give away our position if we're a ship from the future, and I don't want to hail them yet. Keep scanners running for the Nakul ship, I guess.
Captain, Daniel says, Captain, I would recommend we set an intercept course. According to my records, the freighter's scanners only have a range of about 1.5 light years, so we should be able to stay pretty close to it.
I just nod to Jonas.
Aye, Captain. And Jonas will take us in slowly.
Okay.
Are we trying to disguise our presence at all, or are we just?
I mean, we're gonna try and stay out of their scanner range.
Captain, are we expecting once this other ship arrives to immediately be in battle?
Well, we need to stop it from destroying the freighter by all means necessary.
Aye, Captain.
Ted, give me a reason science roll, if you would.
Oh, wow. I get to be the science officer again. It's
You
been a
get to
while.
be the science officer. Yeah, you kind of shaking the cobwebs out because you've been captain for so long. The
In that
difficulty.
case, I'm going to buy a die with bold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Duly noted. Difficulty here is going to be 2, and Dauntless will assist with sensors and science.
I got
Alright, cool.
Dauntless.
Do you have any
Cool.
applicable focuses?
Not here, no. Actually, you know what? Astrophysics I'll let apply.
Okay. And let's do this. Don't mess up like I used to do. Difficulty 3?
Difficulty 2.
Perfect.
Yep, let's see what the Dauntless rolls.
I rolled
Dauntless
the
got
one.
Okay, cool. You do pick up another ship on an intercept course.
Captain, I'm picking up a ship on an intercept course.
Is it not cool?
Yes.
Since I'm serving as a science officer, do I get the free?
I will give that to you without the information spent. It is a cool vessel.
Looks to be in a cool, Captain.
Is there any way we can stop it without firing on it?
Got tractor beams?
Sure.
How close do we have to be for out of character? How close do we have to be for tractor beams to work?
You would have to be closer than you are now. Tractor beams work over sublight distances, and you guys are still about a light year and a half out from the freighter. However,
Okay.
the Nakul vessel is somewhat closer.
Plot to intercept the Nakul vessel.
Aye, Captain. Plotting intercept course.
Hail them.
Hailing now.
No response.
They seem pretty silent, Captain.
So it would seem. I want ideas on how to stop them without having to get into a firefight.
We could get close enough as Lieutenant Commander Ted had the suggestion of using our tractor beam.
Not about avoiding a firefight, but if you can decisively strike their weapons and engines, you don't have to worry about them firing back.
One thing Dauntless could do is extend its shields around the freighter once you were close enough.
Would that put us in close enough contact that their scanners would pick us up?
Yeah.
Yes.
They can look out a window and see us.
I'm sure they could look out a window now and see us.
If this freighter had windows, you're not sure it does.
Is the freighter? Does it currently have its shields up, or is it just like at station?
It has. Tell you what, if you want to use that as the free question or spend a momentum, I can answer that question for you.
I will leave that to Adcon if he wants to burn his free question.
Let's do the free question.
Okay. The freighter only has navigational shielding. It does not have deflectors.
Perhaps you can simply scan for the individual that you are seeking and transport them off of the.
But wouldn't that put the rest of that crew in danger?
We are not here for the crew. We are here for the single individual.
The Nakul vessel has reached the freighter's position. Dauntless is still a minute out.
All right.
Uh,
I want options. I want to disable the Nakul's weapons.
Okay, so coming in, you want to be able to basically come out of warp opening fire.
Yes.
Is it possible to come out of warp in an attack pattern?
I'll say yes. If you want to do an attack pattern roll, I'll let you do it now. You can.
Okay,
I'll let you basically pre-program it into your console.
Plus, I have a nifty ability called Strafing Run that allows us to keep the initiative after an attack
Nice.
Yep.
for no momentum cost. So if we want to take out their weapons, I can definitely do that.
All right. Do it.
Aye, Captain.
Okay, let me look up the difficulty for an attack pattern roll. It's going to take me a second. I did not have this open beforehand.
I got it. I got all the sheets open.
Man, check you out. You rock.
Mm.
Attack pattern. Daring Con. Difficulty 2. Assisted by weapons.
Assisted by what?
Weapons
Weapons
con.
con. Okay. Journey, go ahead and make the roll.
You said daring what?
Daring con.
Ooh, I'm probably gonna need a dice for this.
Difficulty. Base difficulty.
Would helm operations come as a focus here?
Yes, it does.
And I'm taking a dice.
Yep.
And I will roll.
Okay. Okay.
I can,
Who's rolling for Dauntless?
yeah. If need be, I can re-roll one of those.
I can roll.
heroes.
I can roll Dauntless.
I
Okay.
already did.
Engines. Oh, you already did.
Yep. Okay, you got the 2 successes. If you still want to re-roll one, though, you can maybe potentially earn the momentum back.
No, I'll go ahead and stay because it's only a 13 that I'd have to roll under, and I'm scared.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So what is? Oh, and power requirement of 1.
Okay. I will make a note of that. Oh, someone already got it. Cool. All right.
Yeah, I'm on it tonight. I'm good.
Yeah.
I got all the pages open.
Nice.
Okay, so without any further ado, Dauntless drops out of warp and immediately maneuvers for its ventral phasers to hit this Nicole ship. I'm going to have Cheyenne do the roll if that's what you guys want to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Target weapons.
And her difficulty is reduced.
Okay, right. However, since you guys are specifically targeting their weapons, the difficulty increases by 1. So we're back to difficulty 2.
It's a wash. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
But-
I mean, it didn't go up, so that's good.
Exactly.
Oh, can she? Oh no, she didn't take a chance to use the VI. Never.
Well, she hasn't rolled yet.
Yeah, we can use the VI.
So Dauntless has a targeting virtual intelligence system that, for use of an extra 2 power, gives it an automatic breach on a successful attack. Shanna's going to take a momentum if you guys are okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
And is she using the VI?
Yes. And if someone will roll weapons security for Dauntless, although you guys are already looking pretty good.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. So narratively, what happens here is Dauntless slips out of warp. And I'm picking up an echo from somebody, I think Jonas.
Yeah, your mic's on, dude.
There we go.
Nope.
Oh, nope.
Journey, you there?
Yeah, he's there because he's typing.
It's
Okay.
being wonky apparently. Okay.
So narratively, what happens here is Dauntless drops out of warp almost right on top of the freighter. Kind of ducks down, interposing itself between the freighter and the Nakul ship, and opens fire with its ventral phaser array, hitting the Nakul ship basically right in the nose.
Hooray! Can I
Yay!
press some people?
Who would like to roll damage for Dauntless?
Me!
Do
Go
it.
for it.
Let's see how crazy these numbers get.
All right, it's phasers, not torpedoes?
It is phasers, yes.
Okay.
8 minus its resistance of 4 does 4 damage, and because of the VI, 1 breach.
Did you count the versatile as well?
The versatile basically gives you guys 2 bonus momentum.
Oh, sweet.
Uh,
4 damage. You want to pump it into to 1 more extra damage to get another breach?
Yeah, I want to do that.
okay. So we'll call it 6 damage then. And that will inflict a second breach.
Ooh, what is
Yeah.
a 20?
Yeah, what is that?
Sadly, I don't think it's anything like really, really awesome. Like you don't get to roll twice. But oh wait, you guys were specifically targeting the weapon systems. So
Yes.
18 to 20 is weapons, FYI. 10 to 17 would have been structure, but you guys were targeting its weapons, so it automatically takes 2 breaches, which is enough to damage its weapon system. And
Actually, at this point, I would recommend putting our shields around the freighter just to ensure that the Nakul don't try to transport anyone on or off the ship.
Mm-hmm.
give me another reason science roll. Adcon difficulty here is going to be 2.
Reason science, okay.
And Dauntless again will assist with sensor science.
All right, I'd like to take a momentum for the die.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right, any applicable foci?
Not here.
Okay. Wait, not here?
Not here, I don't think. Let me double check your focuses though.
If that's the case, and anyone mind me giving threat?
Oh, I thought you were I thought you just.
I know. I'm saying because I have bold science.
Right, I thought you bought a die with momentum though. Are you
I know,
saying you
I'm
would rather buy it with threat?
Yeah, I'm just asking
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay,
I
'cause-
will give myself 1 threat.
Yeah, Ted builds up threat pretty fast. Otherwise. All right. So and you said no applicable focuses.
Correct.
Okay. So 3 die.
And sensor science for Dauntless if someone has got that.
I got it.
Okay, you guys gain a momentum.
Nice.
They have already beamed away teams aboard the ship.
Captain already aboard the freighter.
Additionally,
guess we're
there
going
seems
down.
to be some sort of field encompassing the ship, being generated
shit.
from the Nakul vessel.
Is this field any kind of is there any kind of chronoton radiation coming from the field?
Yes, there is.
Boy, that's not good.
It use it. Normally, of course, you'd need a momentum spent to ask another question, but since you're in the science officer position, I'll give this to you. It appears to be a temporal stasis field.
Oh, boy, I think they're going in for the kill.
Can we get a lock on Claude's life signs?
Not through the stasis distortion.
We might have to send someone over, Captain.
send a contingent of Makos and Shiana and someone who can do the wibbly wobbly.
With your permission,
Who's-
Captain, I'd like to join the away team.
Yeah, you know the wibbly wobbly.
All right.
Okay, so one of the things you notice about this vessel, Ted, is, I mean, you've noticed the scale of it just by moving through it before. You would swear it's as large as a small space station, but you also notice there's a transporter pad right on the bridge.
Oh, that's not sure how I feel about that.
There's a snort. Wait, do you say that out loud? Because
Yeah.
Jonas will snort, and he will try to keep himself from out loud agreeing.
I know what, and Shiana said, when we were still getting used to this ship, someone beamed onto that pad, and I was not happy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of my thought. Actually, since we're going over to a hostile environment, I would like to requisition a Type 3.
Okay. There's a locker right beside the transporter pad, so that's going to be easy to do.
Alrighty, thank you. Because I'm pretty acquainted with Type 3s these days.
Fair. Okay, so it's going to be a difficulty 1 transport if someone wants to make that roll. Actually, normally would be difficulty 1.
Cell would make that roll.
Okay.
To sell, yes.
I'm going to make the difficulty 2 here because of the stasis field. I'm also going to burn 2 threat to increase your difficulty or your complication range. So an 18, 19, or 20 is a complication.
If you want me to assist, I can. I have a focus in transporters.
You take the lead in all of this.
Oh, okay. What do you roll for transport?
Let's see. Transporters is control engineering.
Oh, actually, I'll roll. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
What would an assist be for that? Same thing?
Assist will be the same thing. Mm-hmm.
And
Also,
what was
I
the
like to suggest for the
complication?
away team to have a medical officer with them.
Oh, you want to bring the Borg with you?
I said a medical officer. It's going to be the Borg, but
Okay.
you never know if someone might be
Yeah.
injured.
Yeah, Bianca will order 19 to go as well.
All right. Sorry, and what was the complication range? Was it 2 or 3?
It's 3.
Yikes. Okay.
Anyone mind if I buy an extra die?
Go ahead.
Dauntless also will assist here with sensors engineering.
All right. I hate not having a focus. Fuck.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
But Jonas
Hey, I
got
gotta
your 2
go.
successes right there,
Yay!
thanks to his focus.
Oh
There's
no!
that complication. That's fine. We'll buy that right off.
Okay. So let's see. It was difficulty 2. Then you guys are the roll's a wash in terms of momentum, but it is a success.
Did the
And
ship
Dauntless.
already roll?
Oh, the ship hasn't rolled yet. Yeah.
Ship has not rolled. I'll roll the ship.
Okay.
Sensors engineering. There we go.
All right. That maxes you guys out. Nicely done. All right. So it'll be the away team, just so that I'm aware, is going to be Ted, Shiana.
19 and Makos.
Yeah,
Okay.
19 and a few makos.
We'll have 2 Makos along, just to keep this somewhat manageable.
That's fine.
What do they bring Makos back?
I
Just
would
kinda says that
answer, but my
quietly.
character doesn't. Yeah, I would answer, but my character doesn't.
I mean, you can answer out of character. That's fine.
No, I know when.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
saying
yeah,
that's
yeah.
when Ted says it.
That's fair. So you guys transport basically into the turbo lift in the background of this this freighter that you're looking at now.
As we were getting ready to transport, can I use my collective knowledge talent to give myself a focus in phaser?
Yes. Yeah, like a small arms talent.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can do that.
cool.
That's cool.
It's like the joint trill ability.
Yeah, assimilated that, did we?
Yep.
It's almost like the board gets shot a lot.
just as we're about to beam out, he's actually going to lead over to 19. Go turn out to assimilate anybody over there.
I lack assimilation, should be.
That's good to know.
Just no.
And
Pardon?
No, they just nod.
the transporter beams grasp you guys, and you materialize looking toward the front of this freighter from the hallway, or from basically the turbolift doors. And the Nikul having heard, well, I'm going to say they probably have heard this. Let me roll for it, though, just to give you guys a chance to catch them by surprise. Okay. They do not seem to have noticed that you guys have transported in. So I'm going to give you guys the initiative.
Did we see the Nicole?
You do see a number of Nikul, as well as 4 humans who are not moving.
Do any of them look like Claude?
Give me a reason security roll. And I'm going to lower the difficulty to 1 here because of your implant.
Nice. Okay, you said reason.
Security.
Are we seeing these Nicole through a doorway?
You're actually seeing them past the doorway up by the front of the bridge.
All right, I'm going to gesture to the Makos to stack up on the nearby door.
Do I have a focus?
Let me look at your focuses.
It would probably be xenobiology, if any.
Lavoie's alien to you, so I'll give you that one.
Everyone's alien to me.
Okay.
One
success. That's what you needed. None of the humans on the bridge appear to be Lavoie.
All right. I'll look to.
Actually, no. I take that back. One of the humans by the console that's visible there does have somewhat matching facial features. It's kind of hard to tell because they're only they're in their early teens, but the biometrics are similar. Have you met Lavoie?
I have.
Yes.
Okay.
I met Lavoie once. Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I was there with the whole doctor shenanigan.
I
That
couldn't
was
remember
just
for
after
sure.
I had gotten rescued and before all of my implants were removed. That was fun.
Okay, but
can I do Oh no, I don't have like DNA or anything to like check.
No, but the biometrics appear similar. Okay, so you're having the Makos move forward. They're doing their best to kind of stay quiet and stay out of sight. But I am going to give them another roll to see if they notice what's going on.
Sure.
While that's happening, I'm gonna motion Ted and indicate the person at the.
At the console.
Uh,
I mean, I'm going to say yes at the console and hope that Steph's Discord
seem to
figures
cut-
itself out.
Yeah, you're cutting out a
sorry.
lot.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'm pointing to the console to show Ted where I think it might be Claude.
Oh, I hope that wasn't a stealth roll.
No, not for that. That was for them anyway. But I'm
Oh,
going to
okay.
burn. I'm going to burn 2 threat to undo that.
That person has, and I'm whispering, but you can't do it for Discord. So
No,
that person has.
no. Before even 19 starts talking, he'll trace a finger across the throat, like silence.
You get a nod.
But he will nod, like if 19 points out that person by the console. All right, have we in position?
When it comes to the weapons fire, I'm not going to make the not cool roll for this. That one of them turns toward one of the humans who is frozen in stasis, the one in the chair on the left, and just point blank fires.
I'm taking a shot.
Okay.
Oh boy, here we go. Control security, and I have a focus and hand phasers.
You do. The difficulty is 2.
Okay. Anyone ever grab a dice for this?
Go ahead.
Okay. Momentum, because I don't have anything in either bold or cautious. Whew. That's 2.
Yes, it is. Good thing you bought that die. Go ahead and roll
It
damage.
really is. All right. Type 4. Let's see. Oh, actually, I should have gotten a free die anyway, because the rifle has a accurate quality.
It does. Okay. Well, I will give you guys the momentum back then.
Okay. I'm trying to think if I want to do charge, but I didn't say it, so I'm not going to.
Yep.
2, 4.
5, 6 damage. Okay.
Yeah.
Minus the resistance, it does 3 points of stress damage.
Do we want to Can I use 2 momentum to give 2 more damage?
Yes. Well, but before you do that momentum spend, I'm going to tell you here's what's going to happen.
Okay.
When the phaser shot hits this Nakul, it hits some sort of shield, and you see them take a wound from the hit, but another secondary shield seems to form up over them, and a few feet away you see another Nakul appear.
Oh, what the hell is that?
That's very strange.
Okay, and
like
now
appear as if out of nowhere, or like
there's
they were just
there's a thin tendril of energy connecting it to that
Oh my god, I have
domed
this power.
force field.
I have this power in the game, Alicia. I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Mm-hmm.
The cool shields are the best.
Except when you have to fight them.
Oh, what the hell? All right.
All right.
And
I
do we
will
have
give
anybody
that.
on the away team that has keep the as what's it called? It's a
Quick to action.
yeah, quick to action.
Shiana has quick to action. Darrow
I
does.
was-
So yeah.
Probably suggest that Shiana goes next.
Okay. Yeah, she will. She'll take a shot at the. She's going to take a shot at the same Nakul. Because that's what she would do, not knowing what I know as the GM.
Yeah.
Let's see. She also has a focus in hand phasers. And it would be giving myself threat to do this, but do you guys think she would have transported over with a TR-116B?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
mean, yeah,
Amber,
Shiana, yeah.
Okay.
she would have gone
And body
as
armor.
far as she could.
Yeah. Okay.
She would have brought plastic explosives if she was allowed.
I mean, you're not wrong there. All right, difficulties 2. She's going to take a momentum here. If that's all right.
Mhm.
All right. Well, that's a complication. But the complication in this case is kind of built into what she's already doing, so I'm not going to do anything with that.
She doesn't have any reroll talents?
No.
Okay.
No, Shiana's balls to the wall. It's everything works or nothing works.
But that being said, again, the complication was kind of built into this to begin with. Because as she takes the shot, the TR-116 round hits the force field and just stops. Like, it doesn't appear to do any damage. At this point, they have definitely noticed you guys, and they start taking defensive positions.
Cover!
One of them is going to return fire at... Oh, evens or odds, guys. Ted.
Got a bet on odd.
Okay, and it's even, so he will return fire at you.
Welp.
This is where we get Ted killed before anything
Oh,
major
God.
happens.
Probably.
Did you even grab armor, or are you just in like your uniform?
He's got a
They don't
personal...
have armor in my era. I mean, the other person.
He does have a personal shield generator.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this guy
this is-
missed.
This isn't the first time I've been shot in a starship. It's fine.
I'm going to burn 2 threat to undo that complication. I'm not going to have any threat left just because of the complications I'm rolling for these guys. Like, holy shit.
That's good.
Oh no, so sad.
Oh, right? Yeah, I know, right? Okay, I am going to burn 2 more threat to keep the initiative. A second not cool is going to shoot the human who is sitting in the chair on the left-hand side of the screen. So that is not going to... I am not going to require a roll for that there. That is just going to happen.
Can you indicate where Claude is, like with like a dot or something on this?
I can put her there, and yeah, actually I can. Let's see, hang on. Get on there. There we go. Yep. And I can put some not cool on the screen here too. That's a really good idea. I wish I had thought of it sooner. Sorry about that.
Oh, aren't they handsome?
Aren't they just?
Don't body shame the cool. Not cool, bro. Not cool.
Boo. Boo.
And so, yeah, there appear to be 4 of them at the moment, whereas there were 3 just a second ago before Ted took his first shot.
All right.
Okay, but it is you guys' turn.
How far am I from Lavoy? Or potential Lavoy?
You guys are toward the end of the hallway. The Makos are further up.
All right, so I wouldn't be able to use my movement to get to them in this.
You could, but it would be your entire action. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it would be a sprint as well. So.
Yeah, basically.
All right, I'm gonna move up so that I can get to Lavoy on my next round.
Okay.
And I'm going to take cover.
Okay. So you're and there's plenty of cover in this hallway. That's one thing that you guys are noticing. Like the Makos have found good cover, um, and um, and yeah, you're kind of still behind them, but in a position where you would be able to reach Lavoy on your next action.
Awesome. Do I have to roll anything to like?
To take cover? No.
Okay.
Um, and since you guys do have quick to action, um,
I think it's only in the first round of combat, isn't it?
it is, but you guys are still in the first round of combat.
Oh, okay.
Like, until everyone has taken an action, you guys are in the first round of combat.
Okay.
So one of the Makos is going to take a shot here. And let's do a d6. Okay, he's going to shoot this guy right here. Let me just look up his... Okay, I have Makos on here. Here we go. Nails it.
Nice.
Yep. I'm going to give you guys some momentum for that. And let's see some damage there for that roll. 6. Actually manages to knock this Nakul out.
Very nice.
Without the
Nice.
shield generating. All right, so the Nakul projection, for lack of a better term, is going to return fire at the Mako who just took out that other Nakul. Or that, yeah. I'm like, wait, what? No, that's right. And that's a miss. Okay, we are now we are almost in the second round of combat because you guys have one last Mako.
Hey, look at them doing their job.
Right? Yeah. And let's see
Goddamn.
which one this is going to take down. This is going to take out... This one actually takes out the projection. And as the projection disappears, you guys notice that the force field surrounding the first Nakul you shot drops.
Does the bullet that was stopped also fall to the floor, all Matrix style?
Well, it disintegrated when it hit the force field.
Aww.
All right, so we are now in a new round, and yeah, you guys have the initiative.
Did you want to do something?
I want to try and get to Lavoy if I can.
You can do that this round. That'll be a minor action. What else do you want to do here?
Oh, you could guard him.
Yeah, if I can guard them, then I'll do that. Or yeah, I'll do that. I will
Okay.
guard them.
Guard is a difficulty 0 or 1 to guard an ally. Increase the difficulty attacks you or the allied character by 1.
All right. So if I am
Nice.
guarding, it is. So do I need to roll that?
If you want to generate momentum, I would say go ahead and roll. And you can generate bonus momentum this way. But it does say that success increases the difficulty of any attacks, so I'm thinking it would need to be a roll.
Okay.
What do you think, daring security?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Oh wait, no, it is difficulty 1 because you're guarding an ally.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, is it daring security? Is that what it is?
It doesn't list a roll. I assume it's at the GM's discretion.
I'm gonna say fitness security here.
Oh, thank you.
Because you're basically interposing your body.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I don't have any focuses this time. Difficulty 1. Hey.
There it is. Okay. So you kind of interpose yourself as best you can and kind of keep your phaser level downrange at these Nakul.
Yeah.
Um,
Basically try and put, like, even though, like, they're immobile, try and put Claude, like, under the desk, basically.
yes.
Nothing to see here. Nothing at all.
One
Alright,
of these...
can we spend 2 momentum to keep the initiative?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I would like to take a shot at one of the guys who is real and not a projection.
The two who are left are both real.
Okay, who's that guy I shot before? I'm going to get him.
It was this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to use the accurate on my rifle to get a free d20.
Okay.
I'm going to charge and activate piercing.
Okay. Which will reduce his resistance by 2.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
For each effect rolled.
What's that?
For each effect rolled.
Oh, nice. Okay, go ahead and roll. Holy crap. Nicely done.
Alrighty, that's good.
This Captain Ted has apparently been practicing with his chief security officer.
Well, it's not like we haven't been shooting Jem'Hadar all year. Oh, wait.
True story. Go ahead and roll damage.
This guy's
out cold.
You're lucky he was set on stun.
True story. The remaining Nakul is not too happy right now.
You want to surrender?
But he is not going to surrender. These guys are fanatical.
Yeah, worth the shot.
He's actually going to take a shot at Claude at +1 difficulty.
Cool.
And I'm going to spend a threat to give him an extra die.
Now, if he hits, does he hit me or does he hit Claude?
If he hits at the +1 difficulty, he hits Claude. Ooh. Okay.
Well, at least it's a good thing our medical officer is right in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you feel this bolt of plasma streak right past you. 19 and appears to hit Claude in the cheek.
Oh no.
Oh.
Are they still frozen?
Yes.
Okay, we can work with this. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. Hits them in the cheek. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I see what you did there.
Persistent 4 though.
Yeah. So it looks like it just glances off, but there is plasma on the wound, which is going to do additional damage if you don't treat it immediately.
Cool.
One of the Makos is going to take a shot here, though. And see if he can't bring down this last Nakul.
Alrighty.
That's
I like these
hit.
guys.
And 5 damage. So he goes down.
Go
All
away.
right. We move in. Secure the room. Let's look around. Oh. All right.
19, I would like you. I'm going to assume you're going to try and treat that wound.
Yeah. I don't know if it's. We're out of combat, so it's not a first aid roll. So it's.
We'll just call
Wait,
it a
is the-
control medicine roll.
Is the plasma bolt still there?
I mean, it hit. So I'm not sure what you're asking.
Oh, I wanted to know how frozen the time was. I
Oh,
mean, has the effect already happened?
the effect
Or
has
is-
happened.
So we're not in the process of it.
Right.
Okay.
Like,
I
time
just wanted to know
seems
if
to
it-
be moving normally in that respect. Unfortunately for the other 2 members of the crew.
Okay, so we can't do anything like, wonky with it. All right.
All right. So you said control medicine.
Yes. I'm going to make the difficulty 2 here. And I'm going to spend a threat to increase your complication range to 2.
And I have a focus, I'm assuming, with xenobiology.
Yes.
I'm also gonna burn my determination, just because fuck it.
Okay, that's fair. What value are you
Um,
calling on?
Duty unto death.
Okay, go ahead. That's going to give you 2 successes. Three with that roll. So, what I'm going to be able to say, what I'm going to say you're able to do is you are able to neutralize the plasma before it does any further damage.
Sweet.
The Makos, having secured this room, start to just kind of, with Shienna's help, secure the rest of the ship.
Okay. I would probably ask Shannon to keep me up to date on the progress of the ship.
Yep. And the Nakul ship, meanwhile, going back out to the external view, seems to have received word that its agents have failed because it opens a temporal vortex and disappears.
Of course they do.
Bye.
Is it? Never mind.
No, go ahead. What's up?
I was gonna ask, is it possible for Jonas to have tried to read, like, try and listen to the Nakul ship at any point, unless he's too busy flying and trying to make sure we don't get blown up?
Well, you guys took out their weapon systems with your opening shot, so they were not able to return fire.
Okay, so would it have been possible to try and read the Nakul ship?
What would you have been trying to read it for?
At this point, like, from all the information that they've been given, he wanted to try and read if, like, anything he could try and pick up about the envoy. I know it's a bit of a stretch.
I will let you make the roll. The difficulty is going to be 3, and it's going to be an insight command.
Insight command, okay.
One day Jonas will get command as a higher
Command is a 1.
Yep.
50% chance, man. You got this.
Can I burn a determination?
What value would you like to call upon?
either not everything can be learned in school, or I am the calm in the storm.
The first one I can go with. Yeah. So that'll give you
Okay.
2 successes.
All right, and do I want to burn a die? I'll if everyone's okay with that, I'd like to take a momentum just to get a third die.
Yeah.
Okay. Go
Up
ahead.
those chances.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. What was that?
No, I was saying up those chances.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and roll.
Hey.
Oh.
Made the difficulty.
Yeah.
uh,
My reads lately are always like that. He
right.
is not having a good time of it.
Boy, you roll like my science rolls.
Obviously, they were not supposed to be here. That I would have given you without a roll. But with the roll and having made the success, what they were doing on the envoy's behalf, but the envoy was not on that ship.
Okay, do they have like any information about is there any information I could glean about the envoy that is there that we don't already have?
Do you have a specific question?
A species?
Yeah, I was actually about to ask, could I get like a species? Is there a known species that the envoy is?
Given your success, actually, I'm going to make that another roll. Same difficulty.
What difficulty?
Same difficulty, so difficulty 3.
Ah, crap. Okay. Insight command.
Mm-hmm.
Crap. Okay. Does everybody mind if I take another dice?
Go for it.
Go for
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Dang it.
You try to focus on the envoy himself or herself, whoever this may be, and they are so scattered throughout the timeline that you can't get a fix on who they might be or even what species they might be. In fact, it's entirely possible that they are multiple species from what you're able to determine, just because their identity seems to cross timelines. Like, this is one person working in multiple universes.
Okay, that's fairly interesting. I will actually take a moment after I do that to relay this information to the captain and to the yeoman.
Okay.
I didn't think you'd be able to get anything. At least not anything definitive.
I apologize, Captain. It's been very difficult lately to try and read much of anything.
These are not your ordinary circumstances, Lieutenant Carden.
I agree, but I still feel like I should be able to pick up something, but
Another time, perhaps.
Possibly.
I'm going to say that Catalea has come up on the bridge to assume the science station with Ted being on the away team. And the Dolphin note informs you guys that the stasis field is starting to degrade. You've only got a few more minutes before time starts flowing again on that freighter. At least for the people who were on it when the stasis effect hit it.
Okay. Captain, would you like me to beam the away team away?
Yes.
We should probably get those Nicole off the ship too, Captain.
I
Beam
will.
them.
Yeah.
Beam them into our brig.
Are we in contact with Dauntless right now?
Yes.
Dauntless, can you hold for about 30 seconds? We need to ensure that our package is secure and safe.
Will do.
All right.
And I'm going to give orders as soon as we have everyone beamed away. That I'm going to put Dauntless's shields around the other ship so that the Nicole can't beam anybody else on board.
The Nicole ship has left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they found out that their away team basically got wiped out, and they opened the temporal portal and disappeared through it.
Jerks.
I would say that's not cool of them.
Can we get momentum for that?
Yeah, take away
No.
for that.
I'm almost out of thread anyway. You guys are cool.
Yeah, at this point, I'm going to look over to 19 and go, status?
They'll be fine. Slightly scarred, but fine.
All right. Good work.
Kind of worried about how they're going to suddenly react when they come back to their time. She has a burn on her face, and 2 of their crew members are dead from phaser fire.
It's like it might be some weird temporal anomaly that might push them to go towards the Department of Temporal Investigations.
That's exactly what happens, in fact, Daniel says, speaking up. But there is one more detail. We need to beam the dead crew members off the ship.
Agreed.
According to Starfleet records, they disappeared.
I'll start tagging them. And I do. I tag them with my special tricorder.
Okay. So they get beamed up. You guys get transported off the ship, and a few moments later, the stasis field lifts and the freighter resumes its course at warp.
Yeah, you might want to set your shields to block their specific scanners.
Once we would have beamed you away, Jonas would have pulled the ship out of scanner range.
Captain, looks like, Daniel says, holding up his own tricorder, it looks like the timeline is stable.
It was messy, but we did it.
Our work here is done. We shouldn't linger.
No.
And I'm going to have Dauntless jump back to Slipstream, back to the 25th century.
Okay.
Aye, Captain, jumping into Slipstream.
I'd once like to have a mission where I'm not getting shot at.
I'd like a mission where people just weren't popping in all the time.
Does that happen a lot on this ship?
Since I've been here, yes, it has.
Lately, yeah, a lot.
That must be fun.
Fun, you say?
Well, it's more fun than what I'm going through currently. It does get better, but...
I can imagine.
That's for you to find out.
I mean, I cheat a little bit, but I also kind of don't.
Captain, Daniel says, looking toward Ted. I think, speaking of not lingering, we should be on our way too.
Yeah, probably not. I'm probably disturbing this crew enough as it is. Dauntless, it was a pleasure to meet you all. And if you're lucky, you'll never see me again.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be that bad if we saw you again. Just
Ted winks again.
Flustered and loses everything he's about to say.
Oh, lizard brain.
All right. We are going to.
Wait, is Daniels going with Ted?
Yes.
Like, is he leaving forever?
I'm not going to say forever.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm going to say he's leaving.
For now.
For now, that is.
Can I do something like after they do their exit scene?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
Just
and
because-
basically how that works is they're just going to kind of walk into Bianca's ready room and not walk back out.
Okay. Just because he's curious, like Jonas would like to try and listen for the lifetime of Ted in the universe.
Oh, don't do that to yourself, honey. Don't do.
You know what? Go ahead and try it. See what happens.
Okay, Insight Command again. Difficulty is 2.
I'll tell him what he hears.
Anybody mind if I buy a dice with this?
Go ahead.
Please get this. Oh, I really hope you get this.
I'm looking forward to this.
Got it.
Oh yes.
You hear the opening saxophone, the Careless Whisper.
you
Oh yeah.
you sense a lot of things. Conflict, obviously, because of the Dominion War that's going on right now, but also moments of happiness, and then the kind of grief that you would feel over someone dying, only it's even worse because the person didn't die. They just became someone that Ted couldn't fathom existing anymore. Like, just heartbreak that almost brings tears to your eyes.
That's wow. Yeah, that actually kind of moves Jonas. So Ted will have left a lasting effect on Jonas.
Mission accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to mess with every character I make.
I mean, with everybody, yes.
Yep. So
Just Ted kicks in the door, puts on the shade. Guess who's here, bitches?
so we cut back to the ready room of the Valkyrie.
You know, Daniels, it'd be nice if he called me and I didn't get shot at.
Captain, I have a feeling you would much prefer that to the missions where you're not getting shot at.
Yeah. Oh well, at least I don't have to freaking work with Archer again. That guy was an asshole.
He takes some getting used to. Are you sure you don't want to remember any of this?
You know the drill.
I do.
Let me just get in position here.
Of course.
Was I holding the pad?
You were holding the pad.
Okay, thanks. All right, Daniels. As it was.
Okay. He pulls out the light device again, and it starts flashing. Again, what appears to be a random selection of colors. Ultraviolet to red and back. And immediately he transports out. And Captain, you could have sworn someone came into your ready room just a second ago, but it feels like deja vu.
Tap my communicator. Commander Safan.
Safan here. Go ahead, Captain.
Never mind.
As you wish, Captain.
Ted just goes back to his data pad and just kind of looks at the list of names once again.
And that's where we end the episode.